Today we will be creating our final slide for our Google Slide presentations. Today we're going to focus on the bibliography page. So at this point I feel like everybody has a good idea how to add an extra slide. So click on slide 5 and you can add a new slide however you like. So you can pick the layout of choice. You can do blank, title only. I recommend going blank and starting from scratch. That way you can add your word art and not have text box in your way. So you can select whatever you like. So starting from a blank page, I need to add my title. The title of today's slide will be called Bibliography. I'm going to go to Insert to Word Art. Inside the box I need to add my title, making sure I start with a capital. Enter. The word is inserted onto my page and now I can edit it. While it's highlighted, I can go to the bucket and choose a fill color to complement my slides. And I can do the outline, line color with the pencil to add an outline color to my title. Selecting the line weight to make it a little thicker so that I can see it a little better. So once we've added our title, we're going to go ahead and add a text box so we can start citing our sources. There's two ways you can do that. This should be review. You can click on the T for text box for a shortcut, or you can go straight into Insert and click the text box this way. You can click either on your page or left click and drag the shape that you'd like for your text box. We're going to start by citing our first reliable source. All this information should be on your notes that we took in class when we did our research back in January. All of us use the Enchanted Learning website as our first reliable source, so we're going to start with that one. We're going to add quotation marks and we're going to type in the name of our state to start. End in quotation marks, and we're going to add a colon, 2 spaces, and this is where we add the name of the website. So it was Enchanted Learning website. That way they know, anybody that's viewing our slideshow knows it was a website and not a book, and a period, space, and now we put the date we accessed the website. We start with the number, so it's the number of the month, 12, space, and the abbreviation for the month, which is capital JAN for January, space again, and then the year, 2016. End with a period. So now we've cited our first source. Let's hit enter twice to give a space in between, and now we're going to list our second reliable source. Again, starting with the quotation marks, you're going to add the name of your state, quotation marks, and colon, 2 spaces, and the second reliable source we used was the Fact Monster website. Again with a period, space, the date we accessed it, again it was the 12th for me. Check your notes, make sure you write down the right date, JAN for the abbreviations, and the year. Period. 2 spaces, and let's go on to the last one. Again, quotation marks, colon, 2 spaces, and the last one I believe we used is the history website, period, and the date you accessed it. Some of you went on and did historical events as well as tourist attractions. If you included any of that information in your slide presentation, you need to also include that in your citations. So make sure you cite the source for any sites that you've used in your slide presentation. And that includes the Genius Hour. If you did the additional research and you created an extra slide, make sure you cite all sources. When you're finished typing all your reliable sources, you're going to highlight and you're going to edit your text. So again, I can go up here to the top, making sure you highlight it first, and edit your font, style, edit the size. You can change the color of the letters. Make sure you're complementing the colors that you've selected for your presentation. So once you have your title and you have cited all your sources, we're going to add a background. So I'll give you a few choices here. For background, again, make sure nothing's highlighted or that background option doesn't come up. You can go into background and you can either select a solid color or you can do an image. So if you do an image, go in and do a search and find a scenery, something that's just not too busy, because I want your reliable sources to show. So I would again do California scenery and see if I can get something that's not really busy so that my bibliography stands out, something that represents my state. If you pick a picture and you cannot see your reliable sources, you need to change and edit your fonts so that I can see it. So change the color, make it bold, move it around the page, put it in an area of the photo that's not busy so we can see it. Or another option would be to go back into background and just simply select a solid color. And then if you select a solid color, you're going to insert an image. There's two ways you can do that. You can either go to Insert to Image and search for it, or you can go to into Tools and click Images and search for it that way. So once you find the picture you're going to use, just simply drag it over. I'm going to let you create this one on your own, so I'm not going to say that you have to put it as a background, or you can just do a solid background and add your own images. If you want to add 2 or 3 images, I'll let you do that. I'll give you a little bit of freedom to have fun with this slide, because this is the final slide of your presentation. So once you've completed your bibliography page, this is where you go back to all other slides and double check them. I want to make sure your sentences have capitals and you have periods at the end. Check every page so that your images look nice and that you can see your writing. It's large enough. You might need to go back and highlight it and choose a larger style font. Adjust your pictures if you need to so that you can see everything on your page. Remember, you're going to be presenting this after spring break. Your classmates will be viewing your slide and you'll be presenting it, so make sure you're happy with the way it looks. Also, I want to make sure that you go back and check for any typing errors. If you have any misspelled words, it will have a little red squiggly line underneath it. So if you see that, put your cursor right on it and right click, and it will give you an option. It will say, did you mean, and it will give you an option for the correct spelling. So you need to correct all your spelling, make sure you have capitals and periods where they belong, and make sure that your text is viewable. Once you've completed everything and you have all 6 slides completed, you may go on to the second video, which shows you how to do animations and transitions.